What's good, family? Welcome to my channel. I am Chief Drino. A warm welcome to you. Today is a very hot day in Australia. Summer is here. To get it very warm. Today is 33 degrees. We are expecting 39 degrees tomorrow. So yeah, it's getting hot here. There's already a lot of fires in New South Wales and Western Australia. Queensland, I would say, and we are under threat of bushfires here in Melbourne whenever it gets really hot. So yeah, it's really hot here. Yeah, welcome to my channel again. If you're new, please subscribe. I want to welcome all my new subscribers. We grew a few subscribers over the weekend, and I appreciate all of you. I appreciate each and every one that is helping the channel grow. I want to thank all my existing subscribers for keeping the channel running as well. Yeah, so let me do a quick sound check. I do have some very interesting topics to talk about today. I am always very, I don't speak well of the United States government. Very well of it. I don't speak very well of the United States government for one particular reason. They're only interested in Africa as a geopolitical strategy for them. Okay, they have no interest in building up the continent. They have no interest in creating investment on the continent. When China creates investment, the US only creates about 1/3 of that of what China is outputting on the continent. And when you look at all the involvement of the East, China, primarily on the continent, it's all about infrastructure development, whereas the United States is only involved in education and health. And you can ask the question, where is the education and the health? Who does it benefit? The education, the U.S. education on the continent is only to extract human resources from the continent, be it in the name of the brain drain. Okay, brain drain. Okay, taking out all the smart people out of Africa into the United States to fuel their economy and leaving Africa, in arrears. Okay, or short of intellectuals on the continent to help the continent develop. Okay, when we talk about health as well, the U.S. leads in vaccine manufacture and all these researches and stuff like that. And then when you hear the name of Ebola and HIV/AIDS, okay, you know where to find these people. Okay, all fingers only point at the United States and their global population reduction agenda and stuff like that. And last week I was here to speak about the Kenya summit, okay, where they wanted to push the gay agenda onto the Africans, okay, in the name of development. So they say that accept gay rights in your country or homosexual rights in your country and we'll give you aid. Africa is not for that. Okay, that is not what we are focused on. Africa is focused on focused on development, infrastructure, and uplifting people from poverty. Okay, this is what Africa is about. Okay, Africa is not about promoting gay agenda and so on and so forth. So before I continue, okay, I want to share. All right. Okay, so boom, I've shared the stream. Hopefully we get some guys to jump in and help the conversation. Now, yeah, I was talking about Ryan says nothing, man, just got back from my 9 to 5, bro. Yeah, same here. My training is complete myself, and I'm doing 7 to 3 actually, but it's awkward hours because peak hour traffic coming back home, so it took me a bit to get home. My work is only 20 minutes drive, but then there's a lot of road works happening, a lot of development. There's a tunnel borrowing going on. So a lot of development in Melbourne. So yeah, the traffic is really thick coming home. But I made it eventually. I had some rest, had a shower, and I read some articles, and I want to talk about it. Okay, I want to talk about it. So yeah, bro, keep on doing what you're doing. Okay, one day liberation, one day, bro, liberation, one day. You sacrifice today, okay, for tomorrow. All right, we work hard today, so tomorrow we'll retire comfortably. Okay, save as much as you can. Okay, so you can retire comfortably. Invest. Okay, invest in something very substantial like property. Okay, invest in property, something that will last you a long time. Buy land. Okay, buy land or invest in gold. Okay, something that will last you forever. Basically, that you can even pass on to your children and your family. All right, so Africa is Africa is rising. Okay, Africa is rising, but there are entities or powers that are still holding Africa back. Okay, we know the West. Okay, the U.S. and in Europe have the tentacles on the planet on the continent of Africa, and all they want is resources out of Africa, and Africa is struggling to bypass the West and or deal with the West, okay, because they bury themselves really deep. Okay, their fangs are deep into the continent, so it's very difficult for Africa to get past. Okay, so that's why the Africa or African heads of states have re-strategized, to go the route of the African Union. Okay, which as envisioned by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, unless Africa unites, okay, we cannot beat the Western powers. So Africa is heeding the knowledge of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and the pioneers, okay, the founding fathers, okay, for Africa to unite. Okay, so the Agenda 2063 is on the menu for Africa to unite, and it's being pushed by the African Union. Okay, spearheaded by Paul Kagame. Okay, all praises to Paul Kagame, for pushing the African Union. I know there are some Africans still on the continent, like Cyril Ramaphosa. I listened to him during the African Investment Forum, and all he was talking about was South Africa is this, South Africa is that. I mean, come on, dude. We're talking about integration, okay? African integration. The Ghanaian president spoke very well, speaking well about the regional integration of the West African states, okay, the ECOWAS. The Ghanaian president Nana Akufo-Addo barely spoke about Ghana. He spoke more about, regional integration, and especially how Ghana can merge with Cote d'Ivoire and, optimize or add value to the cocoa. So stuff like that, okay. But South African president, I mean, dude, come on. So we still have these Africans, but they're waking up, and I'm glad every other president, Paul Kagame, all these people spoke about regional integration. And what I cringed the most about was all these African presidents, Paul Kagame, Nana Akufo-Addo, Cyril Ramaphosa, they all spoke English, and then out of nowhere, this Mozambique president, okay, Mr. Rosario, okay, started speaking Portuguese, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, oh my goodness, why you can speak English? Why would you speak English? You now want to speak Portuguese. So it's like a competition who can speak the best European language. I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, Mozambique, even if you spoke Swahili, I would respect that. Okay, the president of Mozambique, if you spoke Swahili, I would respect that. Okay, and that's what we need to speak. We don't need to be speaking colonizers' languages. You know what I mean? So I mean, it was just shocking. I was just I was happy no one spoke French. I mean, apparently the French president was present as well during the African Investment Forum, Emmanuel Macron. Okay, they're trying to take drastic measures, okay, to reform, but it's too far gone now. Okay, it's too far gone. The colonizer, France, the colonizer is gonna fall. Okay, it's gonna fall. And so we're seeing all these things happening on the continent, but we bear in mind that, okay, the Western government are still interfering with African politics, with African affairs. Okay, they started with Libya. Okay, well, they didn't start with Libya. They started when they colonized. They started colonizing the continent. Okay, and dividing the continent into little farmlands, so to speak. Uh, 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 that we now call countries. Okay, in the Berlin Conference of 1885 and 1884 and 1885. Okay, uh, subsequently, Africa is still struggling to unite and come together, and we are very thankful to China, okay, and Russia in the East for reaching out to serve as a power balance, okay, to create competition, so the or another avenue that Africa can reach out to for development. And we're seeing this mega change on the continent. As a current African economies are rising by almost 10% annually. So this is really good news, and all is because of external factors besides the Western, the power balance that China has brought to Africa. So yeah, currently China is the biggest trading partner of Africa, and the biggest loan grantor to Africa as well. So I mean, who is the better? Okay, it's obviously China. Mr. Niger Boy, thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate you coming through. So yeah, so today I came across these articles, much of them on africannews.com, talking about how the United States is still involved in keeping a stalemate in Libya. Okay, they were involved in destabilizing Libya via Hillary. Okay, who is now apparently trying to run again for U.S. presidential candidate. I mean, for the U.S. presidency in the year 2020, next election. I mean, that would be the biggest mistake the United States would ever make. Okay, if you try to vote Hillary back into office. Okay, that lady is a witch. Okay, she's evil. All right. Okay, she conspired, okay, with the French government, okay, to wage war, to interfere in Libya, cause propaganda in Libya, and topple Muammar Gaddafi's country. Okay, at the time, Libya was the most prosperous African country, and Muammar Gaddafi was pushing the African Union heavy. Okay, the U.S. came and wrecked all that. Right, they wrecked all that. So I mean, I am very sick and tired of hearing that America has nothing, or the U.S. has nothing to do with Africa, but the U.S. is only interested in what it can get from Africa. Their foreign policies that does not include helping Africa. Their foreign policies only include using Africa as a military base and as a tool. Okay, as a tool or a stepping stone for their progress. Okay, and Africa is rising, and we're not going to have that. All right, we're not going to have that. So I do have some articles. Without much ado, I will share this. I'll share the stream, Mr. Niger Boy. Okay, am I pronouncing it right, Mr. Niger Boy? Okay, am I pronouncing it right? If I'm not, please kindly correct me. All right, but yeah, it depends on how quick I go through these articles. If I have time, I do have time. I will invite you guys to hop on, and we can talk about this. Okay. Tonight's title, okay, is U.S. continues to interfere in destabilizing Africa. # Libya. So Africa welcomes business. Okay, there's the BRICS summit, and I also have a news on will.i.am, because will.i.am was recently in Australia over the weekend, and apparently there was a skirmish on the airplane concerning his laptop. He was using his laptop during the flight, and the flight attendant told him to put it away, and then it became an argument on the plane, and then will.i.am tweeted that racism alert. Okay, the flight attendant was being racist, and then most people think Australia is a racist country, especially people coming from the United States. A pot calling a kettle black. Okay, this is the situation here, and Australians try to be very, very professional as possible. Qantas is a very, very reputable airline company. Okay, one of the safest airlines in the world, and they have a very, very good reputation. So it's sort of like a defamation tweet, which the airline company Qantas did not embrace. And Qantas has a lot of money, so they want to fight that in court. If will.i.am does not retract his tweet and statement. So basically, will.i.am is claiming that he was racially profiled. The flight attendant went on telling everyone who is black, basically showed her frustration towards everyone that was black, and will.i.am felt the need to stand up, for that. And what made the matter worse was upon arrival, upon landing, okay, will.i.am was greeted by the Australian police. Okay, so that made matters really worse. But as it is, okay, Qantas is urging will.i.am to apologize and retract his tweet and statement about the flight attendant being racist. So I doubt it's going to happen because of social media. Okay, everyone is subject to critique. Okay, so it will stand as is. So Qantas has something to deal with. Okay, Qantas has something to learn about its performance. Okay, in regards to racism and how they treat black people. And recently an Australian Aboriginal black Australian got killed by police, a police officer. And I have a stream to do with police brutality worldwide. We're going to talk about police brutality in Australia, and the difference here in Australia is that, okay, the police does not go killing civilians like they do in the United States. Okay, I can look at the police brutality or the police killing index or count on Washington Post, and I bet it's approaching 800 deaths or kills by police this year, whereas in Australia it's under 10 still. So I mean, there's a big difference. Okay, even if you factor in the population of Australia times 10, okay, you still not amount to the level of brutality in the United States. So I mean, come on. So what made the difference here is the police officer that killed the Aboriginal got charged within 2 days. Okay, within 2 days, okay, the police officer was indicted and jailed. Okay, convicted of murder. Okay, this is what it is. All right, so this is the difference here because there's a public outcry. Okay, there's a public outcry. There was protest, Black Lives Matter. Okay, so the police officer was arrested within 2 days, 3 days, he's in jail. All right. So coming back to the topic, okay, I am going to read the articles and we'll talk about this. Okay, we'll talk about it. A life is a life. That's right. All lives matter. Okay, but in this case, Mr. Niger Boy, Black Lives Matter as well. Black Lives Matter. It's in context. Okay. All right. So stick around. I'm going to read the articles. Stick around for that. Okay. Excuse my reading. Okay, sometimes I struggle to see what's on the screen. All right. Okay, boom. So I'll start with Libya's stability rests on shutting out foreign meddlers. Okay, UN envoy, African nations. Okay, African news. Sorry. So this is my first article here. Okay, from AfricanNews.com. Libya's stability rests on shutting out foreign meddlers. Okay, UN envoy. If you understand, Libya is now governed by a UN-backed government. And when you talk about the UN, the United Nations, okay, the United Nations is heavily funded by the USA. The United States, okay, heavily funds, I think, funds about 32%, single-handedly funds the most of the United Nations operations. So if you want to know where the UN's agenda is coming from, it's coming from the United States. Okay, it's coming from the United States. So yeah. So but then the US can act on its own as well. Okay, can act on its own as well. Okay, even though it's within the UN, pushing the UN US agenda through the UN. So how do you destabilize a country, remove its ruler, and install puppet government by the UN, which is pushed by the United States, okay, and NATO. Okay, it's all a scheme. Okay, it's all a scheme. So we're having this pushback by General Khalifa. Okay, General Khalifa Haftar. Okay, who is against the UN-backed government in Libya and wants to take control of Libya and bring Libya back to pre-Gaddafi era. So we've seen this tug of war happening in Libya. Thousands of people have been murdered or killed since the second civil war. Okay, and all because of U.S. Puppets. Okay, in Libya at the moment. So yeah. Without much ado, I'm gonna go into the article. Right names, all lives matter, blacks included. That's right. Okay, but in context right now, in context, okay, Africans are suffering. Okay, so we're talking about Black Lives Matter here. Okay, when we're talking about Black Lives Matter and you say all lives matter, it defeats the purpose. Okay, it defeats the purpose because not all lives are suffering at the rate at which Africans are suffering. So all even though all lives matter, okay, this context, okay, African lives matter. All right, Black Lives Matter. Okay, all right, boom. This article came 12 hours ago. An agreement between Libya's warring parties to end their conflict is possible, but only if all Libyans reject outside interference, the UN envoy of the oil-rich North African nation said on Monday. Okay, so the UN backs the government in Libya. So the UN itself is interfering in Libya's affairs. So what the hell are they talking about? All right, the UN is being pushed by the US. Ghassan Salame told the Secretary Council the Security Council that preparations for an international summit in Berlin are underway, and that a crucial meeting of senior officials Wednesday aims to reach agreement on an outline of actions needed to end the conflict. These include a return to the Libyan-led peace process, a ceasefire, implementation of the arms embargo against Libya, security and economic reforms, and upholding international human rights and humanitarian law, he said. Okay, so external investment in the conflict risks surpassing the amount of national involvement, taking control of Libya's future away from the Libyans and putting it in the hands of foreign parties. So basically, the war in Libya is being fueled by external entities. Okay, right. And we know who started that. It was Hillary. Okay, Hillary Clinton under Obama's administration, and the French president Nicolas Sarkozy, who is currently going to go to jail for getting money, okay, from Muammar Gaddafi. He knew it was illegal for him to get money from Muammar Gaddafi, okay. And when the news was about to break out, he went ahead to murder Muammar Gaddafi. All right, this is what happened. So a civil war in Libya in 2011 toppled Muammar Gaddafi, who was later killed. In the chaos that followed, the country was divided, with a weak UN-supported administration in Tripoli overseeing the country's west and a rival government in the east, aligned with the Libyan National Army led by General Khalifa Haftar, each supported by an array of militias. Haftar launched a surprise military offense April 4th, aimed at capturing Tripoli despite commitments to attend a national conference weeks later aimed at forming a united government and moving toward elections. Fighting for Tripoli has stalled in recent months, with both sides dug in and shelling one another along the city's southern reaches. The Libyan National Army is the largest and best organized of the country's many militias, and has the support of Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, and Russia. The Tripoli allied militias on the other side are aided by Turkey and Qatar. So you can see there's a proxy war happening here. Saudi Arabia is funded by the US. All the military gears that Saudi Arabia has is given to them by the United States. Okay, so I mean, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Okay, what's happening? It's chaos, utter chaos. So Salami told the council that since the beginning of the conflict, more than 200 civilians have been killed and more than 128,000 people have fled their homes. Over 135,000 civilians remain in frontline areas, and an additional 270,000 people live in areas directly affected by conflict, he said. The weeks ahead will be critical, Salami said, adding that he is determined to see the end of this debilitating conflict. He told the council in a video briefing from the region that ending the conflict and agreeing to the way forward is a realistic prospect. But he cautioned that the violence is being fueled by a growing involvement of mercenaries and fighters from foreign private military companies. He also pointed to drone strikes and aerial attacks by foreign supporters of the warring sides. So I have another article to read where one drone hit a biscuit factory and killed some foreign entities as well. So I mean, everybody suffers. Okay, everybody suffers. Don't think this is Libya, so this is just Libya. Everybody will suffer. Okay, because Africa is bleeding because of Libya. You know, people are, because of the power vacuum. People, Africans are going through Libya to and you know, getting on boats to go to Europe, and a lot of them are being captured in Libya and sold in slave markets. So I mean, it's creating a lot of chaos. So it's best they solve this Libyan thing. Okay, the US needs to keep their hands off Africa. That's it. Okay, they've never been a friend to Africa. Okay, they've never been friends to Africa. So yeah, um, but okay, so an external investment in a conflict risks surpassing the amount of national involvement, taking control of Libya's future away from the Libyans and putting it in the hands of foreign parties. He warned. Once invited in, foreign intervention is the guest that settles and seizes control of the house, the UN envoy added. So, I mean, you're talking about yourself here. You're being pushed by the United States, okay? Okay. The UN is only a puppet, okay? It's only a puppet tool for the United States, okay? That's all it is, okay? Further, he said the violence is facilitated by Libya's plethora of Gaddafi-era arms, as well as by continued shipments of war material brought into the country in breach of arms embargo, ranging from spare parts for fighter aircraft and tanks to bullets and precision missiles. Salami urged all Libyans to reject outside interference in their country's affairs and to urge outside countries to implement the arms embargo and commit tangibly to ending the conflict on the ground before it's too late. I mean, it's already too late. It's already too late. People are dying. Libya is in shambles, disarray. Okay. He said the outlines of an agreement are known. Options for a constitutional framework exist, and electoral legislation has been produced before. All that is needed now is for you, the international community, to come together to provide necessary umbrella for the Libyan parties themselves to join hands to end the conflict and resume dialogue, Salami said. Okay. I mean, this is not going to happen. Okay. This unity is not going to happen if Libyans themselves don't kick out foreign entities. Okay. This is what Rwanda did. Okay. The foreign entities, the Belgium, the UN, they were all there when there was the genocide in Rwanda. They were all there. Okay. The UN was in Rwanda when the genocide started, or even before the genocide started. They did nothing. They did nothing. Okay. But when Paul Kagame's people kicked them out, kicked all the foreign nationals out, right? They brought unity. Okay. Africa needs to expel all these foreign entities out of Africa, okay, especially the US and the UN. They all need to leave. The black man is capable of solving or managing his own affairs. Okay, this is what Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said. Okay. The black man is capable of managing his own affairs. We don't need these people to approve what we're doing, man. It's absurd. Okay, Anna Ogundana, thanks for joining the stream, family. I appreciate you coming through. I'm leaving all running tired and sleepy. Okay, well, catch you on the replay. Okay, leave me some comments. Okay. I can't pronounce your name, family. You write it in Greek. Okay, Chief. What's this? I can't read Greek. I'm sorry. More. I can't read that. I can't read that. I'll move on. But yeah, thank you for joining the stream, family. You know who you are. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you coming through. All right. So yeah, moving on to the next article. Moving on to the next article. Hope you all having the best time of your life. I am certainly. Okay, it's hot here in Melbourne. Currently 33 degrees. Okay, it's 6:58 p.m. Very hot. Tomorrow is going to be 39. Okay. My channel is all about Pan-Africanism, the global unification of everyone of African descent. Okay, if you're African, you know your lineage is African. Okay, Africa is your birthright. Claim it. Okay, and the whole purpose of me doing this is to bring awareness and education. Okay, for us to go back to Africa, especially those of us in the diaspora, we have a lot of resources. Okay, to go back to the continent to make a difference, to build. Okay, to build. So this is all what it's all about. So so yeah, if you're new, again, if you're new, please subscribe. Okay, if you're new, please subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. Okay, hit the notification bell. Okay, and whenever I'm live, you will know that I'm live. Okay? And leave me comments. Okay, let us interact. Okay, this is what social media is about. Let us interact. Okay. Yeah, so my second article is about also about the Libyan airstrike killed 7, and it also alludes more to the U.S. interference in that. So we'll look at that. So yeah, we have here also from africannews.com a few hours ago, 20 hours ago. Okay, Libya airstrike killed 7 people, including 5 foreign nationals. This is a short read. Okay. At least 7 civilians were killed, most of them foreign workers, and 30 wounded in an airstrike on Monday that hit a biscuit factory in southern Tripoli, Libya's health ministry said. Ministry spokesman Amin al-Hakimi told AFP that 2 Libyans and nationals from Bangladesh, Egypt, and Niger died when the factory in Wadi Rabi took a direct hit, with foreign workers also accounting for 30 wounded. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay, the Libyan debacle, okay, is hurting everybody. Okay, it's hurting everybody. Okay, so we need a solution to that, and all foreign entities need to leave. Okay. The suburb has been at the center of an assault launched in April by Field Marshal Khalifa Haftar's forces to wrestle control of the capital from fighters loyal to Tripoli-based Government of National Accord (GNA). Pro-GNA forces on their Facebook page charged that the raid was carried out by the United Arab Emirates drones in support of Haftar, from whose camp there was no immediate reaction. So the military strongman is backed by Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and United Arab Emirates, while Turkey and Qatar back its rival, the United Nations recognized GNA. Libya has been mired in chaos since the NATO-backed uprising that toppled and killed dictator Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. So there's so many ways of spelling Muammar Gaddafi. It's crazy. so many ways of spelling Muammar Gaddafi. Like there's like 10 versions of his name. An excuse to have a drink. It's really hot here. The battle for Tripoli, which has come to a standstill on the ground after initial advances by Haftar's forces, has killed more than 1,000 people and displaced about 120,000 others, according to the United Nations. The United States last week urged Haftar to call off his offensive and accused Russia of working to exploit Libya's latest conflict. This is bullshit, okay? Because the US has put in place puppet government in Libya, okay? And Haftar doesn't want that, okay? Haftar doesn't want that. So there's a pushback against the US agenda in Libya because they just want to control Africa's natural resources, okay? Muammar Gaddafi was able to maximize Libya's natural resource, okay, by 95 to 100%. Okay, crude oil, okay, brought prosperity to Libya. Okay, the U.S. doesn't like that. Okay, the U.S. doesn't like that. Muammar Gaddafi had enough money, okay, to fund an all-African bank. Okay, the U.S. doesn't like that, or doesn't want that. They don't want Africa liberated. Okay, this is all about that. Okay, bear in mind, family, this is all about that. Okay, and I'm not afraid to speak the truth. Okay, social media, I'm not afraid to speak the truth. All right. So the United States calls on the Libyan National Army to end its offensive on Tripoli. A joint statement said after the GNA delegation held talks in Washington, referring to Haftar's self-styled LNA. This will facilitate further US-Libya cooperation to prevent undue foreign interference, reinforce legitimate state authority, and address the issues underlying the conflict, the statement added. The US also underscored support for Libya's sovereignty and territorial integrity in the face of Russia's attempt to exploit the conflict against the will of the Libyan people. This is bullshit. This is all propaganda. Okay. If you know Russia is a power balance in Africa, okay, to stop or halt the United States from exploiting Africa, because that's what United States always does, exploiting Africa. Okay. US is only known for exploiting Africa. Okay, exploiting African people. Okay, like I stated before, the U.S. Only funds education and healthcare in Africa. And when you look at the education and healthcare, education is only for Africans to be dumber. Okay, if anything, is to create the brain drain in Africa. Okay, where Africans are going to the West, especially the U.S., to fuel their economies. When you have Nigerian doctors, in their droves in the United States, fueling the United States economy, whereas these Nigerian doctors can be on the continent and build in Africa, right? Right. So I mean, this is BS. This is BS. So Western powers have sent mixed signals, with France and Italy welcoming Haftar to visit, and U.S. President Donald Trump earlier this year hailing his role in fighting terrorism and securing Libya's oil resources. So Donald Trump, on one hand, is telling Haftar to stop the offenses, and on the other hand, is hailing Haftar for the offenses. I mean, which is which? They're playing both sides. These people, they're playing both sides. It's a game. It's a game. So, but the U.S. has since distanced itself from the field marshal and joined calls for ceasefire. I mean, they're playing games. So if Haftar is no longer serving the purpose of the United States, oh, he's an enemy now. Okay, this is all it is. Happy to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, happy to Patrice Lumumba, happy to Thomas Sankara, happy to I keep forgetting the Togo president, the former president of Togo that got murdered as well. I keep forgetting his name. Okay, it's all backed by the French and the United States government. All the coup d'etats in Africa. Okay, everything is being backed by the U.S. Okay, the Rwandan genocide is the UN's fault. The UN's fault. Anyway, so now we know evidence right here. Okay, the U.S. is interfering in Africa. Okay, you can't hide that. You cannot hide that. They have no goals of improving the status of Africa. They have no aim of uplifting Africa from poverty. They only want resources from Africa. Okay, resources out of Africa. They have no policy, no foreign policies on development when it comes to Africa. Okay. None at all. That's why when Donald Trump is now in office, Donald Trump speaks very, very little about Africa, and at best he calls African countries shithole countries. Okay, that's what he does. All right, moving on. Okay, so now the evidence right here. Okay, it's in the pudding. Okay, so moving on. Moving on. So I'm gonna go now to business in Africa. Okay, we're talking about BRICS. Okay, now let's see the comments. Sun Temple, welcome to the stream. Gaddafi also built his own car for the people of Libya and the world. He was doing great things in Libya. Yeah, he was doing great things. He had done great things for Libya, and he was doing great things for Africa. Okay, the All African, bank was going to be established by Muammar Gaddafi. Okay, the African Union was being pushed and supported by Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi had so much money; he was even lending money to foreign entities. Okay, and he was so kind. He was so good. He lended money to Nicolas Sarkozy, the French president, who is now under trial. Okay, and going to go to jail soon for illegally acquiring money from Muammar Gaddafi, which led to him, you know, going to kill Muammar Gaddafi because he wanted to silence Muammar Gaddafi. You know, So I mean, it's really sad when you listen to the last words of Muammar Gaddafi. He was saying, "My people, why? Okay, they fell for the bait. Okay, they fell for the propaganda. Okay, the U.S. propaganda, NATO propaganda, pushed by France. They fell for it, and this is the problem of Africa. We don't trust ourselves. Okay, we always seeking approval and validation from foreign entities. That's why we're suffering. But we need to learn to trust ourselves. Band together, African unity. Unity we stand, divided we fall. All right, it's the only way forward for us, family. It's the only way forward for us. All right. Right. So moving on, Africa is doing business, okay, with Western countries. I mean, Eastern countries. We're talking about China, okay. We're talking about Russia. We're talking about Jair Bolsonaro. I don't really like this man. Okay, this man is friends with Donald Trump. Jair Bolsonaro of Brazil. He hates the Amazonians. Okay, he doesn't care about the Amazonians. He's cutting the forest, the Amazon forest, for investment and development. Okay, so yeah, I don't really like him. Okay, and I think this is the president of India. I forgot his name, but yeah, it will be in the article I read about that. The new president of India, apparently he's a very very good man, and the president of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, okay, who is a puppet, by the way. This man is a puppet, so bad. Okay, it makes me sick. Okay, it makes me sick. Okay, so BRICS, another article from africanews.com. Okay, uh, BRICS leaders have agreed to increase their investment. Their investment. So BRICS is a sort of like a body that encompasses Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, so it's sort of like the G20 summit, the G7 summit, and this is BRICS is another you know organization of these countries here, these developing countries or developed countries, whatever you want to call them. So I'll take that again. BRICS leaders have agreed to increase their investments. Okay, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa advocate for a global economy that is more open to trade and not protectionism. Okay, the Western governments like the United States and Europe practice protectionism. Okay, where they for them to invest, they will have to go through a lot of stringent measures, a lot of profiling, you know, before they even give you loan for development and stuff like that. Whereas China's like, do you want loan? Do you want a project? Do you want some infrastructure? Okay, boom, we'll do that for you. But we need gold. Okay, yeah, boom, you can have gold. This is business. Okay, not going through all these hoops and loops just to get some loan to build a school. This is what the US does. Okay, and then they go through the guise of giving you aid, and then they push the gay agenda that if you don't accept the gay rights and gay agenda, then we're not going to give you aid. I mean, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. So yeah, I'm happy about the BRICS, okay, and I hope the African free trade take effect very soon. Okay. At their annual summit, the heads of state expressed their willingness to fight against the reduction of trade costs, which they consider to be a handicap. Um, this engagement here today is one of those essential channels through which we can find common ground on common challenges. Key countries in the global economy are currently facing slowing growth, complex challenges to their trading relationships, or a turn away from the open rules-based global trading system to being much more closed and introverted, said South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. I hope you will seize on the opportunity and mobilize more resources from the business community and actively invest and do business in BRICS. Okay. Within an economic context marked by rivalries in recent times, the mobilization of this platform will probably be a response to other problems that affect people's lives, like infrastructure. Amongst all BRICS countries, when companies are confident, then the market will be vibrant. And I hope you will seize on the opportunity and mobilize more resources from business community and actively invest and do business in BRICS communities, including in the joint implementation of large projects that have economic and social impact and which therefore have a major impact on economic development and job creation. Chinese President Xi Jinping said, geez, this guy can talk. So yeah, all in one breath, family. So I hope he didn't. I mean, if he said that in Chinese, that would have been easy because one Chinese word can replace a whole sentence, by the way. Okay, so Sun Temple said, and these groups of people, American, Britain, France, and Israel, they put in countries to overthrow government. If you look at Iran, there's lots of fighting. They are trying to do the same thing there. Yeah, precisely, exactly. Okay, I mean, all these foreign entities in Africa, that's all they do. They all, they just proxy, arms, proxy grounds for the US to wage their wars, to destabilize these countries so they could go and implement their foreign agenda. That's all it is. Okay, that's all it is. Look at Congo. Okay, we've been over and over on Congo's issues. Okay, so many times. Okay, it's nothing different. Okay. Okay, it's well documented facts that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was removed from office by the CIA. They staged several coup plots. I mean, assassination plots to kill Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Okay, but he survived all of them, just as they plotted so many times to kill Hitler. I mean, Hitler was they plotted how many times to kill Hitler? I can't put a figure on it. I think 20 times. I'm not too sure. So many times to kill Hitler. Right. So the states of BRICS alone represent nearly 42% of the world's population. So I mean, it's great. So when you have South Africa alone in Africa representing in BRICS, I mean that is not a good representation. But we're hoping that eventually Africa unites soon. Okay, and Africa will have one voice. Okay, and Africa will present itself as one entity. All right. I mean, it's great. It's great. So yeah, moving on. Sorry, I did not share that article, but let's see. I thought I had shared it, but yeah, the article will be in the description box, so you can check it out for yourself. Okay. I just want to show you what it's all about. Okay, so this is the BRICS leaders. Okay, we have the president of China, Xi Jinping. Okay, Russia. What's his name now? His name just skipped me now. Okay, how can I forget? Okay, how can I forget his name now? Because I'm agitated by this guy here. I'm just so agitated by him. Okay, Jair Bolsonaro. Okay. Vladimir Putin. Okay. I still can't remember the president of India, and we have the Cyril Ramaphosa. Okay. Right. So these are the BRICS nations. Okay. So 5 of them. All right. So moving on. I mean, there are other articles that I wanted to show, but I'll just speak briefly about them. Okay. Young Nigerians embrace savings investment culture with an app. So so there's an app circulating through Nigeria that is helping young Nigerians save and invest as well. So the article is in the description box. Check it out. Um, and there's this funny story also. Nigerian scammer pulls off $1 million heist from prison. Okay, so that is that is one great achievement about Nigerians. Okay, Mr. Niger boy. Okay, if you're asking me why your country's visa has been banned from Tanzania, this is the reason why. Okay, this Nigerian scammer. Okay, let's see if I can share this. Uh, this Nigerian scammer is still scamming people from prison. Okay, and the story is that whilst he's in prison, this article is from GhanaWeb.com, by the way. Whilst he's in prison, he's still conducting fraud, internet scam from prison. I mean, this guy's got to be a genius. Okay, Edward Snowden has nothing on this guy. I heard a few years ago, I heard that some Nigerians were able to empty a whole bank in Argentina. Okay, I mean, this is crazy, ingenious. This is crazy. Okay, all these people can get jobs in the United States intelligence. Okay, they can get jobs, like serious jobs. They're so smart, very smart. All right, very smart. So Nigerian intelligence found out that this dude is still scamming people of $1 million whilst in prison. So apparently he had access to a computer, and that's all he needs. Okay, just give him a computer and you make himself $1 million. I mean, this is got to be some top level IQ. All right. So should we all pay the price? What was the context, Anna Ivanishko? What is it? Was a context? What? Why should we all pay the price? I mean, you mean Nigeria because of the scammer? I mean, it's hard to tell because Africa, believe it or not, Africa is still struggling with technology. So a lot of criminals can still go under the under the radar and not be detected. Okay, so this is the problem in South Africa, the issue in of the xenophobia and stuff like that. Only one bad nut, okay, ruins the soup. Okay, one bad nut, ruins the soup. So I mean, this is what's going on. Majority of Nigerians are very hardworking people, like Mr. Niger Boy himself, and my best mate here. I speak well of him so many times. I've pointed out. Okay, he inspired me, to build my own house. Okay, and he himself bought his land or house, his property at the age of 19, and he's embarking on it, or he's undertaking a $3 million apartment project. Okay, this is how smart Nigerians can be. All right, this is how smart Nigerians can be. So yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Okay, this is how smart Nigerians can be. So other news: Ghana signs deals to buy airplanes for airplanes. This word is old. I don't. Maybe Guineans still use the word airplanes, but we use airplanes. So airplanes for relaunch of international airline. So let me see if I can share this image as well. So again, the article is in the description box. You can check it out. So Ghana wants to relaunch its Ghana Airways. Okay, so now we need direct flights all across Africa. So now we can fly direct from, say, Ghana to Ethiopia. Okay, we can fly Ghana to South Africa, or we can fly Ghana to Egypt or Ghana to Dubai. These are things that are happening on the continent. So Ghana signs deal to buy airplanes, from from Boeing. Okay, so Ghana has signed a memorandum of understanding (MOU) with the Boeing company and the Havilland Aircraft of Canada for the purchase of airplanes as part of efforts to relaunch an international airline. So Ghana Airways fell through the cracks there and was dismantled. If you know about the Ghana Airways, the last DC-10 was turned into a restaurant, which Wadimaya took his girlfriend Trudy too. So yeah, this is really iconic. Okay, but they put in all efforts together to relaunch the Ghana Airways, which would be really good for Ghana and it will boost Ghana's economy. So all these things are happening on the continent, and Ghana's economy is estimated to be, to rise to about 65 billion dollars GDP, billion dollars per year. So yeah, I mean, this is great news. Okay, it would probably be about 100 billion by the close of the year. So I mean, good things are happening. Good things are happening. All right, when you factor in the African free trade and also factor in the eco zone, the eco currency coming on in January. I mean, big things are going to happen for Africa, West Africa. That's why Morocco wants in West Africa and all that. So I mean, big things. All right. So I'll leave that article as is. Okay. So check it out. Okay. We look forward to working with the government on an integrated solution that includes the 787 9 Dreamliner and aviation services to support the new airline and provide a superior experience of its future passengers. The statement from Boeing described the 787-9 as part of a family of 3 airplanes that offer long ranges and unmatched fuel efficiency in the 200 to 350 seat market. So I mean, this is fantastic. Okay, this is fantastic. Right. All right. So any more comments in there? Okay, no comments. Okay, so yeah. So my final article is going to be about the situation of will.i.am. Okay, will.i.am. I spoke briefly about it at the start of the stream, and we're going to talk about this. Okay, we're going to talk about this. I am Australian. Okay, it's really sad. I see what's going on here. Racism, although racism is not in your face, it's not poignant as it is in the United States, but there is still some element of white supremacy and stuff like that here. So that needs to be addressed, and the Australian society frowns on it, but it's still in government. So these things need to be addressed. But it really behooves me when Americans come to Australia and claim that Australians are very racist. I mean, a pot calling a kettle black, but we'll deal with this. Okay. will.i.am is a citizen of the United States, is American, and he's no different to any other American that thinks Australians are very, very racist. Okay, I mean, a pot calling a kettle black, and I pointed out how police brutality is only rampant in the United States. Okay, in fact, let me check now. Let me check the police database. Okay. Police killings 2019. Washington Post database. Okay, let me share this. Washington Post database. So police shootings database. Okay, let's have a look. So 800. Okay, a couple of weeks ago I looked at it. It was 700 and something, 720. But look at it now. Okay, boom, fatal falls. Okay. This is by Washington Post. They have a database. Police have been, 801 people have been shot and killed by police in 2019. Okay, and I'm going to show you the graph. Okay, I'm going to show you the graph. 992 people were shot or fatally shot by police in 2018. So as of a week ago, there have been 83 fewer shootings this year than that at the same time last year. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is the projection. Okay, this is the projection. It's sickening. Okay, this is the graph. Okay, this is crazy. Okay, It's fast approaching 900. This is crazy. And this graph excludes people that were killed. So this updates November 18th. So today's November 20th. So 2 days ago. Okay, that excludes how many people have been shot and killed today. And then the weekend is going to come. And how many people will be shot and killed on the weekend. So, I mean, this is crazy. Police brutality in the United States is hell. Okay, so there's no way on this planet you tell me the United States is the best country in the world. You must be out of your mind. You must be out of your goddamn mind. Okay, let's have a look at police killing Australia 2019. Police killings. So I'm gonna and I said that before. Recently, an Aboriginal Australian got killed, and within 2 days, he was prosecuted. The police officer was prosecuted, and the police officer is in jail. Okay, the police officer is in jail. So I mean, come on. I can't find the database. Please. I'll have to do this another time, okay? But I can guarantee you, okay, police killings this year is less than 5 in Australia, okay? When you factor in the population of Australia, Australia's population is 25 million, okay? When you multiply, the US population is 350 million people, okay? Which is multiplied by 10, okay, or 11, okay? So I mean, this is crazy. All right. So it does not amount to the amount of police brutality in the United States. So we'll look at the will.i.am's debacle. Okay, will.i.am's story, and that would be my final story for the night. All right. And my article. Yeah, in 2 days, brother Danubian. I'm telling you, in 2 days. Okay, the nation. In fact, I should be doing this stream with police brutality worldwide. Okay, I should be doing this stream with him shortly if I get a chance. But yeah, within 2 days, Australians were on the street protesting Black Lives Matter, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, okay, 2 days. Within 2 days, the police officer was arrested. Okay, and he was charged. Okay, they lied that he charged them with a weapon. But obviously there was no weapon. Okay, they shot him and then they just threw him into the police van. Okay, and they took off with him, and then he died in custody. So I mean, this is epic BS. Okay, the Australians were not having it. Okay, 2 days. Okay, he was charged and he was jailed. If it was the United States, it would take 2 years, even 3 years, for the police officer to be jailed. Okay, this is corruption. Okay, there's no way on earth you tell me the United States is the best country in the world. Okay, it's the most evil, corrupt country in the world. Okay, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Now let's look at will.i.am situation. Okay, let me share this. will.i.am's hashtag William. Okay. So Ghana Web, I'm excited that Ghana Web covered this story. I read this in an Australian newspaper, but I'll read this from GhanaWeb.com, which covered this story. So. Qantas urges rapper will.i.am to withdraw racism accusations against staffer. So Australian flagship airline Qantas. Let me blow this up. So Australian flagship airline Qantas said on Monday it stood ready to offer legal assistance to a member of its flight crew named in a racism accusation by Black Eyed Peas rapper will.i.am on social media. The US singer had taken a flight about 1.5 hours long to Sydney, Australia's most populous city, from northeastern Brisbane to play at a concert on Saturday, but was met with Australian Federal Police at the arrival gate. Okay, so this is what they do, right? Run and call the police. Okay, this is what they do. He said on Twitter he was racially targeted by an airline attendant, whom he identified by name after failing to put away his laptop as the flight prepared to land, because he had put on noise canceling headphones to make beats. So as you know, musicians are always in transit. Okay, in transit, they're always working. They're always creating beats and stuff. So I mean, Qantas, which called the incident a misunderstanding, has requested the rapper to retract his statement. I've sent a retraction, and if the crew member wanted to take the matter further, we would certainly be willing to provide legal support for them to do this, a spokesman told Reuters in a statement. So you see here a whole Qantas, okay, the national carrier of Australia said they were willing to back a flight attendant against will.i.am. And in the Australian article, okay, they pointed out that the Qantas staffer can be, is eligible to be entitled to money, okay, a hefty amount of money if he sues will.i.am. So you have a huge company like Qantas, they can get the most expensive, lawyers for this staffer, okay, under the grounds of defamation. Okay, one, the company's Qantas name, trade name is at stake for employing a racist staffer. So they're going to do everything in their power to fight will.i.am if will.i.am does not retract his statement. So I mean, it's going to be a legal battle, okay, but it's just going to fizzle away because this is social media, okay. Social media is not policed by any of these things, okay, and especially when it comes to international matters, all right. So I mean, it's going to be a very, very dirty game. It's going to be very dirty, and we know white supremacy is going to prevail in this. Okay, this is smells of white supremacy, at best. Okay, and it doesn't paint Australia in a good light at all. All right. But all saying this, okay, Qantas does not represent Australia in this manner, although it is Australia's national carrier. But yeah, we smell racism right here. Okay, so police confirmed they spoke to crew and passengers at the airport, but said no further action was required. The Australian Federal Police considers this matter finalized, they said in a statement. So the police has nothing against will.i.am now, okay, and but then Qantas, because of the defamation, okay, Qantas is willing to take this to court if the staffer is willing to go to court to clear her name because her name is being mentioned. But this is what social media is about: shaming. Okay, when we shame racists, okay, put the camera in their faces, right? So police confirmed they spoke to crew passengers at the airport, but said no further action was required. Australian Federal Police considers this matter finalized, they said in a statement. On Saturday, will.i.am said in a post on Twitter, is calling the police on a passenger for not hearing the PA due to wearing noise-canceling headphones appropriate. Okay, so this is a case of flying whilst black. Okay, this is a case of flying whilst black. And this flight attendant, did he know that this was will.i.am? Okay, but will.i.am dyed his hair blonde as well. Like, it was just crazy. But anyway, so I mean, this is what black people we do. I mean, we put on these things and people judge us by our appearance. And the flight attendant probably did not notice that was will.i.am to start with, because if she knew that was will.i.am, she wouldn't have done that. Okay, she would be starstruck to start with. And will.i.am has featured in so many shows in Australia, including Australia's Got Talent and stuff like that. So the voice and stuff like that. So there really isn't any excuse for that staffer, unless that staffer is a novice or a new person. So he added, if so there's grammatic errors here. will.i.am couldn't spell, okay. If didn't, so I'm just gonna read verbatim, okay. If didn't put away my laptop in a rapid 2-minute time, I'd understand. I did comply quickly and politely, only to be greeted by police. I think I was targeted. Okay, this is his tweet. As of Monday, will.i.am had not made any retraction on social media, even as other commenters pointed out that the crew member he identified had received threats on social media as a result. Okay. He pointed out that if he were rude to a fan or journalist, so this is will.i.am saying that if will.i.am pointed out that if he were rude to any fan or journalist, he would be publicly named or shamed. This is what Twitter is for. We are supposed to call out wrongdoings so we can have a safer, more compassionate world, will.i.am said. Reuters was not able to contact the rapper through his agency, and he did not immediately respond to a request for comment on social media. So boom. Okay, so that article is done. Okay, so yeah, racism has raised its ugly head, and white supremacy has all the power to back, okay, to back the people. So not until black people we build things for ourselves, okay, we do not need to be, will.i.am has enough money to fly his own private jet. Okay, you have enough money to be flying your private jet. You don't ride your jet with these people, man. Okay, this is what is a problem. Okay, we seeking validation from people. This is what happened to our favorite rapper, Nipsey Hussle. Okay, you have so much money, you shouldn't be in the mess. Okay, I mean, it's not very wise. You made it out. Okay, this is a crab in bucket mentality of our people. You try to make it out. Don't go back in there. Don't go back in the bucket, please. Okay, and this is the problem with will.i.am. You have enough money to have your own private jet. Okay, why are you still flying? And mingling yourself with low life people. I mean, if I have enough money, I'll build my house in space. F everybody. F everybody. I'm gonna help you, but I'm gonna help you from far away. Okay, I'm gonna email my help to you. Okay, I'm not gonna subject myself to the madness. Okay, the travesty happening. I'm not gonna subject myself to that. I'm gonna be very far away from all these motherfuckers. All right. Anyway, I'm not gonna swear too much. But Sun Temple, the only way they would put a killer in jail that fast in America, he would have to shoot the president. Yeah. Oh, even the one, who was it? The person that killed, what's his name? John F. Kennedy. Okay. They couldn't find him. They couldn't find him. Right. They just arrested some random person. Right. So I mean, the corruption is thick in the United States. Okay. It's no joke. But yeah. So here, okay, Australia setting the presidents. Okay, 2 days, 2 days, within 2 days. Okay, the police officer was arrested and jailed, prosecuted, and found guilty of murder. 2 days, 2 days. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, that's the end. Who wants to hop on? Let me have a look at my email. Okay. Okay, my email is in the chat. Okay, who wants to hop on? Send me email. Okay, I'll let you on. Otherwise, I'll sign out. Okay, and I'll call it the night. Okay, tonight's stream is done. Okay, thank you all for your support. Thank you for growing the channel, keeping the channel growing. Okay, in all good spirits of Pan-Africanism. Okay, global unification of everyone of African descent. Okay, and the sole purpose is unity. Okay, for us to go build Mother Africa. Okay, following the footsteps of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, this is what we need to do. And all our ancestors, okay, that left the United States in a hurry, okay, when they got freedom in 1865, okay, they left the United States in a hurry to go build Africa, okay, yeah, in their spirit, okay, we follow, all right, so yeah, yeah. So yeah, I haven't got any emails yet, so um, I'll shout outs to everyone here, okay. Thank you for joining the stream. Ryan Names, you were the first person here. Thank you for your support. Yeah, you do the 95. Okay, that's what we do. All right. Okay. Mr. Naja Boy, I appreciate you coming through. All life is a life. Okay. Black Lives Matter. Okay. One black life or 100 black lives. Okay. All matters. Okay. That's right. Right. So Ryan Names, let him read the article, bro. Yeah, jeez. All lives matter, Black lives included. Yeah, but in this case, okay, Black lives matter. Okay, we need to voice out our opinions. Okay, if we don't say anything, okay, these people, these devils are gonna assume they'll be all right, even though they have their foot on our necks. Okay, they're asking us to stand up, but gosh, you got your feet on my neck. Okay, how are you expecting me to stand up? I mean, it's evil. Okay, and for some reason I can't read this person's name here. Mormepnk Kashkar. I can't read that. See, I seriously can't read that. All right, but I appreciate you for coming through. Sun Temple, I appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, I appreciate your comment. Gaddafi also built his own car for the people of Libya and the world. Okay, he was doing great things in Libya. Okay, but then they had to kill him. Okay, they had to kill him. So yeah. Sun Temple again, and these groups of people, America, Britain, France, and Israel, they put them in countries to overthrow governments. If you look at Iran, that's lots of fighting that way, trying to. They are trying to do the same thing there. Okay, yeah. Okay, so if you allow these foreign entities into your country, okay, that's what they're going to do to you, right? That's why I really like the style of governance of China. Okay, yeah, China is real power, man. China is real power, and I'm very happy Africa is learning a lot from China, and this is what we want. All right, this is what we want. All right, we want some of that Chinese power. All right, and the Russian power as well. Um, and Ivanashko, thank you for joining the stream. Ivanashko, thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate you coming through. Brother Danubian, thanks for joining, coming through. I appreciate that. Yeah, so yeah, thank you all for your support. Okay, nobody has emailed me yet. Let's see again. All right, well, you all have a good night. Okay, I appreciate it. Tomorrow I'll be back on. Okay, I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll try and come on a bit early. There's a lot of projects now in my company, so I am the process engineer for my company, and there's a lot of work on my hands now. But things are happening for me. Great things are happening for me. So I'm moving up, on the corporate ladder, gaining more experience in engineering. So yeah, it's all in goodwill. Again, a lot of experience that I can take to the continent and contribute to build Africa. But as time progresses, okay, you see me more with Aboriginal Australians as well, and helping them out and doing things with them as well. So yeah, I'm a Pan-African, okay, global unification of everyone of African descent. This is what I am about, okay. All for all Black people, okay. And our home base of operation, okay, should be Africa. Aboriginal Australians need to find solace, with African people and find home in Africa. Okay, if everything is good, if everything is good for Africa, okay, I would say, Africa should create a home for Aboriginal Australians. Okay, there's only a handful of them. Okay, Aboriginal Australians can have dual citizenship on the African continent. They can go to Africa and have a good life in Africa, not subject themselves to the harsh conditions in Australia. Okay, I mean, it's sad. Okay, Aboriginal people have been pushed into the desert of Australia, and it's very, very sad. So, sometimes I beat myself that I'm here in Australia, and I'm reaping all the benefits, of Australia at the back of Aboriginal Australians, where the average life expectancy of Aboriginal person is 45 years old. Okay, majority of Aboriginal people commit suicide by the age of 25. Okay, by the age of 25, you know, they committed suicide. It's very, very sad. Okay, it's very sad what's happening to the people. So this is what happens when you've been very, very defeated. Okay, and be made worthless. Okay, and Aboriginal Australians have been on this continent of Australia for about 100,000 years. Okay, between 100,000 and 65,000 years. Okay, they never went extinct. They only started going extinct when Europeans started showing up. Okay, they refused them. Europeans brought a lot of diseases. Okay, measles and all these diseases, they brought them over, and they refused medical treatment to Aboriginal people, so they were just dying. Okay, even common cold was killing Aboriginal people. They killed all the Aboriginal people from my state, Victoria, and they drove them out. Tasmania, they wiped them all out. You know, so it is very sad. So yeah, we need to reach out to them as well. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm about. Okay, Giordano. Okay, global unification of everyone of African descent. Okay, with the home base of operation on the mother continent. Okay, Africa, our black power. Okay, Africa, our black power. Okay, okay. United we stand. Okay, okay. Divided we fall. All right, so one, unity, one. Okay, until next time, I'll try and I'll be on tomorrow, and we'll see what we can do. All right. Until next time, family. Okay. Be good. Okay. Be good. Dream about Africa. Okay. Be inspired. Okay. Like I stated on O'Shea's show. Okay. When you think about something for so long, okay, it becomes your reality. Okay. So if you envision positive things, if you envision great things, myself, it took me 8 years after graduation from my degree to get uh, a full-time engineering role. And straight away, I became a process mechanical engineer with big, big, big projects. So I mean, since I graduated, even since I was a kid, I always dreamt that I was going to be an engineer. I was going to be a mechanical engineer. It was my reality. It was my reality. I made it my reality. Okay. I always say it. I proclaimed it. So I mean, it is what it is. Okay, it's energy. It's all energy. So if you exhibit positive energy, okay, you're gonna get positive energy in return. If you spew negative energy, you're gonna get negative energy in return. So it is what it is, family. All right. Okay. I hope I have inspired you enough. Okay. Until next time, family. Peace. One. One. Peace. Peace, family. Peace.